If you're thinking about moving and you want to learn about what everyday life is going to be like in your new town, this is the place for you. On Open House, we sit down with local, top producing real estate agents to help you find the best places to live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you don't want buyer's remorse and you want to find your dream town, we are here for you. So go ahead and book a free call with us and we'll help guide you to the area that is right for you. Now, let's jump in and learn about your new home.
Hello, my name is Charles with Open House Media, and if you're ready to do a deep dive into what it's like to live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, then you found the right video, because I have with me Linda, and she is a real estate agent. So Linda, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you love Virginia Beach so much?
Well, I came here to college and liked it and never left, and I've been here for 40 plus years since college, so I consider this home. To me, this is an area that you can have the best of all worlds. You have a smorgasbord of people, because we're a large community that has lots of military, that you have people from all walks of life, all nationalities, all ages. Everything is here, and it's amazing how many people come through here and fall in love with the community, the weather, all of the amenities we have. And it would be a mistake to think of Virginia Beach as just being a seaside resort city, because we're really way more than just that. Other thing is, you have a climate that you have all 4 seasons, but winter is nothing to get excited about, because I'd say the average temperature here in the winter is probably in the 55 or up range. So if we tell everybody when they're coming, if it snows, stay home. They can't drive in the rain. Snow's out of the question.
So what's the culture like there in Virginia Beach? Is it a suburban, rural, small town kind of feel? What's it like there?
I basically think that Virginia Beach, to me, seems like a large number of housing developments, little communities and areas that have grown and knitted together. Because I remember when I first started here, you had areas and you might have 5 or 10 miles between it, with just open land between it. In the last 40 plus years, all of that is filled in. And there's inside of most of Virginia Beach is pretty suburban. We still do have rural areas, but for the most part, I would call it suburban.
So what's the story behind Virginia Beach? Where has it been? What's a little bit of the history about it, and where do you see it going?
Well, if you think about Virginia Beach, first thing is it helped start the colonization of the United States, because Cape Henry is where the settlers that did Jamestown landed. As you know, we are at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean coming together, so that was probably a start. Virginia Beach was a resort area back from the late 1800s all the way forward. I think it started becoming more of a sought-after beach resort from like the 1920s, World War I, and definitely World War II. I think probably a famous landmark here in Virginia Beach is the old Cavalier Hotel, because that was built back in, I believe, the 20s, and they not only built the hotel, but they built a railroad here, plus they also cut in a waterway so they could bring in all the provisions or whatever, because we had presidents, senators, people from all over the world came to the Cavalier, because that was the place to be. So, the beach has been here. Then when World War II happened, this was quite the military buildup area. So people from all over the world came to Virginia Beach. My parents, who lived in Northern Virginia, met each other at beach and courted in Virginia Beach. So, and I can't tell you how many other people I know that this was the place to be. So it has a history.
Sure, sure. So I guess if people wanted to, visit and learn about the history themselves, are there museums around the area as well?
Um, there are a few small museums. You can go to the Coast Guard Museum that has some of this stuff. They have, they're just different little areas you can go. You can go to the Adam Thurgood House that'll have some of the history. Mostly, Virginia Beach, I said, started big time after World War II and really has grown exponentially. So it's changed from being just a resort area to a city because, Virginia Beach separated from Princess Anne County and became Virginia Beach. And we are the largest city mass city. This is a big place. It's a mistake to think of us as just t-shirts and flip-flops. There's way more than that.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it. So let's talk a little bit about the economics of the area. So when it comes to where people tend to work, are more people, are they commuting, or are they just kind of staying local, doing the remote working kind of thing? How's it going there?
Well, up until COVID, I would have said they were commuting to whatever their place of work is. You're going to find people that work in the resort area that are going to be in the tourist industry, whether they're in restaurants, wait staff, whatever. Then you have an awful lot of people here that are employed either through the military or subtext of that, which would be people that provide everything from contracts on the bases to cleaning to you name it, it's out there. I would bet you, looking statistically, you'd find close to, I'd bet you 60% of our economy comes through military or satellite industries that work with it and feed off of it. So it is a big deal.
What kind of I guess large companies or industries are there in the area?
Well, you have shipyards. We have several of the largest shipyards that are on the East Coast are located at Hampton Roads. So a lot of your big stuff that happens or has happened over time has all come from the Hampton Road areas because we're big stuff here. We've got Oceana, which is the master jet base for the East Coast. This is a big deal as far as for your military preparedness. We have all of the different shipyards and the ports coming in for trafficking things in and out of here. It's a big crossroads.
So as far as schools go, I know you can't really say a preference about, what your favorite school is, or, talk about one school over another, but can you talk a little bit about how they might rank in the nation? Are there any charter or specialty schools there? What can you say about the school systems?
Well, we're a very large school system. Virginia Beach has 86 schools, which in the world of school populations is pretty large. I think we're ranking somewhere in the top 10 in the nation as far as for schools. I will tell you the school systems throughout all of Hampton Roads, but definitely in Virginia Beach, is diversified. They have a very large special ed population and curriculum that goes on there, so they are prepared to handle anything from your normal student to children with profound problems. I can tell you the military specifically sends most of their people that have children with special needs to this area because the school systems are prepared to deal with this. We have also special schools if people want to go outside of the public school sector. You've got academies that can cost you everything from a little bit of money to you think you're sending your kid to college. Or you've got the Catholic schools, you've got Christian academies. There's, I believe, 2 academies here that deal with kids that have learning disabilities, from everything from dyslexia to all sorts of issues. That is available here. I mean, they are private, but I do believe, according to the state law, if public school can't handle it, you're the state law requires assistance from the public to take care of it. So your educational needs are definitely met for whatever you've got going on.
Yeah, it sounds like a very diverse educational system that's going on there. So that's great. So let's talk about some of the fun stuff now. Let's talk about entertainment and some of the things to do around. What kind of restaurants and bars and things are there to do in Virginia Beach?
Well, we are a typical resort area where you're going to have everything from your, I call them burger doodles, you know, whatever the regular little drive-through window joint, to medium dining, which is your local bar, and everybody will have hot spots, some with entertainment, some without. You're going to have fine dining. I think you generally move off the ocean front for your finer dining. I will tell you that the tourism industry in Virginia Beach does a very good job of providing something for every walk of life, because pretty much starting the end of April, they open up the boardwalk and they have stages set up and down the boardwalk where they have programmed entertainment. We have, you know, country music week. We have, you know, American, you know, week, music festival. They bring in acts that play on these stages. The symphony plays down there. We have local bands that play, and they generally on a Saturday night and a Friday night have all three stages going with something, so that somebody who might be older and not want to listen to, you know, rock music can go to the symphony or whatever. It's available, you know, there, and they're free, and you can just go stand around. We have bars that are around there that you can go in and get food, you know, drink, whatever.
Yeah, so I imagine you guys have, like, you know, distilleries, and I bet there's probably lots of shops and things around as well.
Yeah, so the oceanfront is typical for shopping in that it's, you know, lots of T-shirts and seashells. There are a few stores that are, you know, specialty stores that have a little bit of stuff. You kind of move off of the strip, if you will, to do your bigger shopping. You can literally not go much more than a mile off of the oceanfront, and you can get yourself to anything from fine dining to good grocery stores to, you know, medium dining. We have it.
So it sounds like a little something for everybody, right?
Well, yeah, it is. And, you know, everybody, if you'll have people that are what we call a beach borough people, they live in one little area and they kind of operate inside of that little circle. And you get people that live a little further west and they operate inside of their circle. And the same thing goes there. There are stores, restaurants, entertainment facilities, and everybody kind of carves out their niche for what they're looking to do.
Very nice, very nice. So for the kids and things, what kind of things are there for kids to do in Virginia Beach?
Well, we have an aquarium, we have an adventure park, which is the typical, you know, you climb up in the tree and do the swinging through the trees and try to do the zip lining and all that. They have that available. They have miniature golf courses down there. They have ball fields where they run all year long, whether it's football season, you know, little league, baseball, etc. All those things are run through the year. There are playgrounds and parks. We have Grommet Park, which is a park down at the oceanfront for the handicapped, for kids that, you know, are wheelchair bound or whatever, can get out and do physical activities. We've got tennis courts. There's an amusement park on the oceanfront. We have a water park. There's go-kart parks, roller skating rinks, which seem to be having a resurgence. We've even got an ice skating rink. So, and if you really want to do something, you can go to the video arcades and just take a lot of money and hope for the best.
Yeah, I remember the good old roller skating days. I used to do that as a kid, go to the roller skating. So it's pretty cool to see those things coming back, because it's really great, you know, socializing for the kids. So as far as you know, like any special local events? Are there festivals, races, holiday events? So what kind of stuff goes on
Yeah,
with the?
yeah, we do. Virginia Beach is always, well, we have the Boardwalk Art Show, which has traditionally been uh, Father's Day weekend. It's held on the ocean front, and it's had, believe it or not, an awful lot of artists that have come through there in their beginning days that are now very widely sought after people, because I think the Boardwalk Art Show started back in the 50s. So it's not a, something was a Johnny come lately. So they have that. They have the Neptune Festival, which kind of ends our season of summer, which is about a 2-week season where we have everything from an art show to a sand cast, building sand castles on the beach and judging that. They have the Blue Angels come and do a flyover. They have a night where they have all these eatery trucks and whatever all up and down the ocean front. It goes on for about 2 weeks. They've got tournaments. It's a fairly large event, and that kind of culminates the oceanfront beach, that resort season. We've got, during the wintertime, we have the Shamrock Marathon that goes, obviously, in March. We've got East Coast Surfing Championship. So there's a lot of stuff. The Shriners come annually here, so and, they have parades, etc. So it's
Very
there.
cool. Gotcha. So as far as like nature, obviously you're at the beach, so you have the beach where you can take a stroll, and do that kind of stuff. What other kinds of natural attractions are there, like lakes, rivers, waterfalls, parks, anything?
Well, Virginia Beach is obviously the Atlantic Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay. We've got several rivers that pour into that are, water tributaries that people use for boating. We've got parks. You've got Seashore State Park. There's just lots of parks around here. Even some of the neighborhoods, once you go inland, there will be neighborhood parks set aside. Whatever, you've got Red Wing Park. You can go down to Back Bay. There's a park down there. There's a little bit for everything.
Gotcha.
And all these parks have trails in them, so you can do walks, through them or whatever.
Yeah, and get your exercise for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of nature enthusiasts out there who would love to hear about that. So as far as the housing in the area, let's talk about that for a couple of minutes. What kind of homes can you find in the area? Is there lots of new developments, historic homes, farms, townhomes, apartments?
Well, Virginia Beach is mostly going to be, as I said, suburban. And we are going to have a diversification of townhouses, condominiums, and single-family homes. You can kind of track how people's taste in housing and the economy has changed what was built when it was built to what we have. We have little neighborhoods that came up in the 50s that were, again, the little post-World War II houses that were, I don't know, around 1,000 square feet, and it's just an eeny-weeny little house. But it was what society needed and could afford at the time, and they're still here, and people are still living in them and redoing them and modernizing them. So we have communities like that. And I don't know exactly what style I'd call that, but we're just going to call it the 50s because it's not. Yeah, it's like a little post-World War II house.
Right,
so we have those. Then you have your neighborhoods that, as society was moving on, got a little bigger. You had the traditional neighborhoods that had trees and the ranches, and you kind of, it resembled Leave It to Beaver. It was normal. It's what Middle America has. Then we've started morphing on to higher density, and you have everything from, more of the California style houses that were quasi-contemporary, that had like the cedar exteriors and, a little taller and a little skinnier on tighter lots, to the bigger, neighborhoods that definitely, went into some of the California contemporary homes. I think after that, we've moved on to what we will classify as, we went McMansion crazy. So we have lots of neighborhoods that have plenty of that. We have colonial style houses, more of the transitional, traditional homes. Now what I see going in the newer developments, we have an awful lot of the craftsman houses seem to be what people like to look at. It's a diversity of everything.
Yeah. So, what would you say the median home price is in Virginia Beach?
I think that your median home price is pretty close to $350,000. That's going to get you just about a starter home or slightly better.
And when you say starter home, is that like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of deal?
It will generally be 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and depending upon what you pick, where you pick it, is going to depend on how big it is, how new it is, and how updated it is. And this is Virginia Beach. Land is at a premium. And you may find that if you're thinking you're going to get that half-acre lot with the 2-car garage and the sprawling backyard, think again. That's not happening. Not in town. Not for $350. It's not.
Right. Right.
I think the average lot size here in most of these subdivisions is honestly 60 by 100. So,
Gotcha.
Not big.
Right. Well, Linda, I really do appreciate you answering these questions. These questions are very valuable to people who are looking to move into the area. And anyone who's interested in moving into the area, please look down below this video and look up our contact information and request to please speak with Linda Ritchie-Royal. She would be glad to represent you and help you find that perfect home in Virginia Beach.